Hey everybody, welcome to another Sporcle Saturday here on the channel. I am yours truly, Pat Dooley. Getting it out of the way up front because I sometimes forget at the end. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, it helps. I am an announcer, a commentator, a creative, pretty much anything in wrestling that does not involve taking bumps. I'm your man. So if you're a promoter or you know a promoter that's looking for somebody to fill any of those gaps, let me know. I am the ring announcer for the Southern Wrestling Federation in Tullahoma, Tennessee. So I am Middle Tennessee based, but I will travel anywhere. I have been told by several people in the industry that I'm sort of a savant in terms of wrestling history. I know a lot. I'm passionate about it, so I study, and it has paid off on this channel as I do these Sporcle Saturdays each and every Saturday afternoon, noon Central Time. What Sporcle Saturday is Sporcle.com is a great site if you've never been. Sporcle. It's a quiz site. It's a user-generated quiz site. So you go there and you basically pick whatever category you want, and it gives you quizzes. I personally chose pro wrestling because that's sort of my, that's the reason for this channel existing. So over the past several weeks, this is episode 20. No, I'm sorry, it's episode 19. This is the 19th one of these we've done. So going back to May, I've been doing this each and every Saturday. Hit or miss results. I've got 100% a bunch of times, 6 of the first 19, or first 18. It's pretty solid, but I've also, done as poorly as 59.6% and 59.2% are my two worst. I'm hoping to do better this week, but we will see. These kinds of quizzes sometimes trip me up. I am trying to name the participants in every Money in the Bank ladder match, which doesn't seem that daunting until you realize that it started in 2005. And as I've mentioned in previous videos on the channel, I really got into wrestling in like 89, 90 when I was like 6, 7, 8 years old. And I watched pretty much nonstop up until about 2004, 2005. And then I kind of fell off for a few years, came back on for a couple of years, fell off for another couple of years. Haven't really watched much at all in the last 6 or 7 years. I'll, check out highlight reels. I've checked out a couple of the pay-per-views. When it looks like there's something significant that's going to happen, I'll tune in. But for the most part, WWE booking is just not for me anymore, which is fine. It's for lots of people. They still, do tons of business. Not yucking anyone's yum, but I don't care for the product at the moment, which is not going to help because it means that there are going to be huge gaps in my knowledge right at the time when this match started. So I've watched every WrestleMania ever. Does that mean that I memorized the people in the ladder matches at each of those? No, it most certainly does not. We will. I don't really know how else to get into this other than to get into this. I've got 10 minutes to name 221 wrestlers. Hoping it goes well, but only way to find out is to do it. So Chris Jericho, it was his idea to do the match. That first one, I'm pretty sure also had Shelton Benjamin. Was Christian in that match? RVD? No, but he was in the one from 22. Edge. Who else was in that? Okay, 22. So it looks like the winners are on top and then everybody else is alphabetized. Does that seem accurate? Edge, Van Dam. Which one was Swagger? Was that 20? Oh, that wasn't until 26. Punk. So 23. That would have been 2007. Is that the year Kennedy won it? Kane, I know, won. Bryan won. Ziggler. Just trying to think of people I know for sure that won them. Rio. Rollins. I don't think Ambrose ever had it. Oh, no, but he was in a... Oh, he did. He won it in 2016. Lesnar won it 1 year. Okay, so we're just going to go back to naming people. Kofi, I know, has been in several. MVP, I think, was in a few. Some variation of the Hardys. Mysterio, Mark Henry, Cena, Orton, Benoit. Yeah, he was the last one in 2021. That's what I was thinking. Big E, Xavier Woods. What other? Great Khali has never been in one. Carlito, probably. Masters, maybe. No. Epico, Primo, Miz, Morrison, I know was in a few. Evan Bourne, I know was a mainstay in the early years. Wade Barrett, Justin Gabriel, Heath Slater, Otunga. I was kind of naming members of the Nexus. Roman Reigns. I already guessed Ambrose and Rollins, so that's all three members of the Shield. Bray Wyatt has never been in one. Luke Harper. No. Eric Rowan. No. Zack Ryder. Hawkins. Austin Theory feels like he's probably been in a couple. AJ Styles. Anderson, no. Gallows, probably not either. Not doing well on that Mania 22 one. Booker. Angle, I don't think was ever in one. 22 was 2006. Lashley. Umaga. Alright, so let's skip ahead. They started doing women's Money in the Bank in 2017. So I'm just going to start naming the top women from the last 7 years. Sasha Banks. Becky Lynch. Charlotte Flair. Bailey. Io Sky. Dakota Kai. Oh, interesting. Candice LeRae. No. Ronda Rousey. Shayna Baszler. Bianca Belair. Alexa Bliss. Nia Jax, Tamina. Man, these are not in alphabetical order. They just did Money in the Bank a couple weeks ago. I didn't watch it. So I couldn't tell you. Tegan Knox, no. Mickey James ever in one? No. Trish Stratus? Lita? Zoe Stark? Yeah. couldn't think of who Trish Stratus's new, like, minion was. Protege sounds nicer. Raquel Rodriguez. Asuka. Piper Niven. Doudrop. Same person, but I don't know if maybe I wanted one name over the other. Kairi Sane, was she ever in one? No. Lacey Evans. Xia Li. Wow. Naomi. I don't know. Wow, this is really not going well. Bank. 2012. Okay, 2011. I've watched that pay-per-view so many times because of the classic Punk Cena match. But who else was in those Money in the Bank matches? Finley, I think, was in a couple, at least one. Okay, he was the last one in 22 and 25. Okay, so I've got the first 5. And again, this is another one where I'm sure there are really... Oh, didn't Otis win it one year? Truly obvious winners, or even just people in them. Who won this year's Money in the Bank? Oh, Damian Priest. LA Knight was in it. Austin Theory. Who else was in this year's? Shoot. Finn Balor. Should have been LA Knight that won, but it was Priest. Cody Rhodes has been in a couple, but it wasn't him. Balls. Kevin Owens has been in a few. Sami Zayn has been in a few. The Usos? No, never. Solo Sikoa this year? No. Priest, Knight. Styles, I already guessed. Nakamura. Boogs. No Rick Boogs. Oh, Logan Paul was in this year's. Oof, this was bad. This one was really bad. Alright, what am I missing? Who am I kicking myself over? Oh, Drew McIntyre, Big Show. Yeah, I'm not too bothered. I miss Teddy DiBiase. Sheamus, Sin Cara, Alex Riley, and R-Truth. Damian Sandow, Santino, Tenzai, Tyson Kidd. Cesaro, I should have remembered. Neville. Baron Corbin won it in 2017, of course. Carmella. I should have remembered Carmella, because she also sort of stole it the following year, too, didn't she? Natalia, Strowman. I have no recollection of him winning in 2018. Rude, Rusev, Joe, Ember Moon, Lana, Natalia, Nikki Cross, one of my all-time favorites. I forgot Nikki. Ricochet, Ali, Andrade, Dana Brooke, Mandy Rose, Aleister Black. Matt Riddle, Liv Morgan, Mankind Moss, Omos Riddle, Shotzi. Right. Butch, Ricochet, and Escobar were the other three. And then Zelina Vega was the other one this year. Yeah, I should have done a lot better on that than I did. 157 out of 221. But again, like I said, most of these matches happened during periods where I just was not watching. So I should have done better, but I don't feel terrible about this result because it is like, and you can definitely tell where my 2012 I just was not watching. 2019 I just was not watching. 2022 I wasn't watching. It just, it ebbs and flows, and right now it's been at an ebb for several years. So that's it for this week's quiz. Got another one coming up next week, as I do each and every week. It's not exactly timely, but I'm going to be looking at SummerSlam main events next week. It's going to be like the WrestleMania main events that I did. When was that one? Right about a month ago, August 5th, where I tried to name everybody that had ever been in a WrestleMania main event. This time it's the same thing, except it's going to be SummerSlam. So that's going to be a little trickier, especially during those years where I wasn't watching. Because, like I said, I've watched every WrestleMania, but I haven't watched all the SummerSlams from the periods where I haven't been watching regularly. So we will see how well I do on that. Of course, you can help out by liking this video, subscribing to the channel. All my contact info is at the bottom of the screen if you want to reach out, whether it's just to ask a question or, hey, I've got a show coming up and I need an announcer. Hey, look at that. Nice and easy. You can reach me that way. Aside from that, I will see you next week. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.